So I haven't felt like talking about wrestling for a few weeks because, quite honestly, trying to look online for information about what's happening in pro wrestling feels like hopping into a bed that your dog has pooped all over. But it was Royal Rumble season. And being that it's one of the few WWE shows I actually look forward to anymore, I gave it a go. If you're watching this, you've probably seen the reactions from both WWE fans and fans of pro wrestling in general.
We do not care.
I know the show wasn't well received. Well, let me throw my log onto that gasoline fire. Usually I don't watch the Saudi shows for personal reasons, so this is the first one I've seen since the original 2 Crown Jewel shows. And well, that's a good place to start. The controversy around this arena that was built in a parking lot so they could get a background of the city skyline was a great idea and concept. The execution was a different story. I'm not going to get into all the accusations of slave labor and poor working conditions, but the aesthetic was there in the end. Just one problem: the audience wasn't. People have gone back and forth on this, stating that the place was empty, or that the people showed up late like a UFC or boxing show, or that there were little lights over the chairs that made it look emptier than it was. Regardless of if any of these are true or not, the truth of the matter is the show wasn't well attended. It wasn't people hanging from the raft. Even when Roman won the Royal Rumble, it was kind of half empty. And trust me, I'll talk about Roman a little bit more later on. Believe that. The only positive takeaway is that other wrestling companies, and I'm looking at the one in Florida right now, might have found a way to make their crowd shots look a bit better if they use these tiny little lights and treat the arena seats as part of the stage setup, which we're not too far away from that being the case anyway with WWE. Regardless, I don't think it's the last time you're going to see that kind of thing from a pro wrestling company. As for the show, we came into it probably with the least interesting build to a Royal Rumble that I can remember in recent history. No one was particularly hyped about the WWE Championship match between Drew McIntyre, who just won the title in a shocker over Cody Rhodes a few weeks ago, and the eternal underdog, Sami Zayn. The men and women's Royal Rumble matches also lacked a bit of anticipation as the 2 current brand champions, the aforementioned McIntyre and the current world champion CM Punk, had few opponents that anyone desired for them to face at WrestleMania. Double goes for the women's side. The only thing that really caught my attention was a retirement match between AJ Styles and the Career Killer GUNTHER. And that was the only thing I'd say is really worth devoting your time to on the show. It was easily the best match of the show. Gunther's aura of taking Randy Orton's old gimmick to the next level by retiring legitimate legends of the modern era at least makes his character interesting, at least makes him worth watching. And Styles, completing his WWE career after a series of bangers against John Cena and Shinsuke Nakamura, didn't make this a disappointment for me, but more of an obvious ending. 10 years to the event of the phenomenal one's run in sports entertainment. We didn't get a smile and a tap out. We got a fighter having to be choked into unconsciousness in order to give up his career. The added touch of Styles not leaving his gear in the ring opens up a whole can of worms as to where and if there's a next move in his career. Some theorize he's going to TNA, some that he's going to AEW for a series of matches that have been dreamed about, with talent there for years now, and others think he just is legitimately done. Whatever the case, this was a decent way for Styles to leave sports entertainment for now, and I can't complain about it too much. The Women's Royal Rumble was the better of the 2 Battle Royals, with far more interesting character interaction. Charlotte and Alexa starting off the Rumble and their history, the Kabuki Warriors and their interesting eliminations and interactions. Lash Legend going on a tear, seeing both Bella Twins back in the WWE ring at the same time, and the somewhat surprise winner being Liv Morgan. She's a curious choice, but not being knee-deep in what's going on in WWE's women division right now, I'll reserve judgment. The match itself was the second most entertaining on the night, so I'll give them kudos for that. Then we come to the disappointment that was Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. Who was this match even for? Oh, that's right. Zayn has ethnic ties to the area. He's the hometown boy. He's the local challenger hoping to score a big win and become a legend. Did that happen? Not even close. McIntyre essentially brutalizes Zayn for most of the match and gets a clean win to the mild murmurs of an already disinterested crowd. Again, I ask, who was this match for? Drew didn't need this win, Sami didn't need this loss, and we didn't need this match. The main event was the men's Royal Rumble, which had its moments. I didn't say they were great moments though. Braun Breaker got bushwhacked by Obafemi following an attack from another masked man. We were denied the clash that I was actually excited for when they were announced as number 1 and number 2. I was like, oh, Obafemi, Braun Breaker, this should be entertaining. This is what WWE's based off of. 2 big monsters going up against each other. Instead, we got another masked man mystery. Try saying that 3 times real fast, which have all had a bad track record in recent years in wrestling. We did get the debut of Powerhouse Hobbs from AEW, now known as Royce Keys. Not that there's anything wrong with that name, but Powerhouse Hobbs sounds like a wrestler. Royce Keys sounds like an influencer. Take from that what you will. In the end, it was Roman Reigns and Gunther, fresh off of retiring AJ Styles and with a limp, as the final 2 combatants in the men's Rumble. Gunther is going to win the Rumble 1 year, breaking the same bridesmaid's curse Morgan did earlier in the night, but not on this night. Roman won, and immediately, the online WWE fan base had a meltdown about part-timers.
What is that? What is that?
When the show ended, I wasn't excited from WrestleMania. I wasn't intrigued about the potential of Reigns versus Punk or Reigns versus McIntyre. I don't even know who Liv Morgan would or should challenge for the women's champ. I didn't really get excited about the prospect of Gunther retiring Brock Lesnar by this summer. I just felt nothing as I switched over to watch something else. Last year I said it felt like WrestleMania 41 was the first major stumble, and I'd be curious to see if Triple H and the rest of the creative team could come up with something to keep the level of hype for the company high. According to the Saudi crowd, online fans, and even Roman Reigns himself, that might not be the case. I'll give it until after WrestleMania 42 to see if that assumption really becomes reality, but it's not looking good so far. And that's the 2026 Royal Rumble in a nutshell for me. A casual viewer of World Wrestling Entertainment. I think it's safe to say the hot streak, no matter how much money WWE is making, is over. I want to know what you guys think. Let your voice be heard in the comment box below. And if you like this video, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe button, and notification bell, and all those good things. And share this on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, wherever you talk about pro wrestling and sports entertainment. I'll see you guys here for more news, rumors, and reviews. 2026 is going to be a rough year, dude. We're going to check it out, though, here on the Rantin Review Pro Wrestling. Have a good day.
Where did he come from? His mother's womb, I don't know.